Not working from home. I am an educator, educational specialist, and my district has been allowing some people to work from home all this year so they would not have to take sick days. Well, this January, my child was sick, so I asked if I could take 2 work from home days instead of sick days because my position would allow for that. I was told in no way was that going to be possible because they are not doing that anymore and I have to take sick days. I told them that it would be absolutely perfect for me to work from home because I wasn't having classes that week anyway and I could get all my paperwork completed over the next 2 days. We also have our office phone set up on our laptops so I would be able to take phone calls from home as well. This would cost my district zero money to allow. Nope. Still denied. I maliciously complied. Being that I was not allowed to work from home, I set an away message on my email and voicemail that indicated, since school district no longer allows its employees to work from home, I will be out with a sick child and have taken my own personal sick days to take for him over the next couple of days. I will be returning emails and voicemails upon my return. I did not answer my cell phone from coworkers or bosses. I ended up being out 3 days and there were some major issues at work that could have been cleared up in about 30 seconds if only I was allowed to work from home. On the bright side, not working from home allowed me to get some really great mommy-toddler snuggles. It also allowed me to come to the realization that school districts don't really care much, and this is why we are all so burnt out. Good for you. Watch out for yourself and family first. I talked to my principal about leaving early so I could take my daughter to a couple of appointments. Had another teacher willing to cover the last few minutes of my last class of the day. I was told, in no uncertain terms, this would be a contract violation and my pay would be docked. Which means that not only do I lose my pay but they also deduct the cost of the sub from my pay. So instead of another teacher covering 10 minutes of my class at no cost, I used sick days and the district paid for 3 full days of a sub. But due to a shortage of subs they had to pay teachers to teach on their off hours, which is a higher rate of pay than a sub would have been. As a fellow Texan, I support this. I don't know why this state and country doesn't provide the most meager of support for teachers. School admin are the single biggest obstacles to education. You would be very hard-pressed to change my mind on that. Good job. My friend resigned as a teacher last year because no one cares about them. It was so bad that he didn't want to be in the teaching field anymore. As a former educator, I commend you for putting yourself and your family first. It's really fucking hard to do. Kudos to you. The district where I am at was fairly flexible for a bit. I'm in administration, but not building level. My situation was my father has been in and out of the hospital since this summer. My mom provides my childcare for my toddler. So, when something happens, I would ask if I could finish the day at home. For a bit, this was okay. It's only a few hours at a time. After one request, I was asked to use my paid time off for these requests. So, I stopped asking and just put in for time off. I also don't check a single message while I am home and I respond to texts with, I took the rest of today off. I also leave earlier. If I'm using a half day, I'm getting the whole half day. I would have kept up with situations otherwise. Now, I'm dead to the world. Complete list of employers who care. The end. Unfortunately, schools don't seem to give a fuck about the kids if it doesn't involve grades. It's amazing how some companies, or schools in this case, work. My last job was very anti-work from home, but I had a great supervisor who let me work from home on 2 half-days. In 2 years. To deal with something I had to be home for. It had to be super hush-hush because no one was allowed to work from home. However, every time there was a potential weather impact, snow, wind, flooding, that might make it impossible to get to the office, we'd get a company-wide email to take our laptops home. We were also sent to work from home when the power went out at the office. So work from home was actually fine, but only if it was for the benefit of the company. I'm an old guy that went to a really small school. If a teacher had something important to do, the principal would let a senior cover the classes for the middle school kids. Fuck work. Your children are more important. OMG, I felt this. When the pandemic hit, my work allowed a lot of us to work from home, which was really helpful with my 2 little ones. Eventually we all went back. But it became known working from home was a possibility now in circumstances like yours. From time to time I have done it. Then a new director stepped in and said, "No more working from home, everyone must be on site." He seems to be under the impression there is a reduction in productivity when people work from home, which is laughable and actually measurable if that was a genuine concern. Annoying as it was, I made other arrangements. Before, after school care, relatives covering gaps in pickups, etc. At great cost and borrowing of time. Attrition on the project I am working on began to set in, and they hired some new people who all arranged a permanent or semi-permanent work from home arrangement. Soon, others started doing so, some for good reasons, some for spurious ones. I don't mind being on site, but there are a couple of days a week it would be really helpful to work from home. There were a few days I did as you did op. I took personal leave, and things fell by the wayside as I was ignoring attempts at contact. So we have a situation now where there are 23 desks in my office, but only maybe 10 of them are ever there. And it is the same people, which has even been cited as a good distancing measure against COVID. Figuring at this point that the director's order to be on site is complete BS. I told my manager I was going to be WFH for 1 day a week to cover childcare logistics. He was okay with that much himself. Though I did add I would be doing it ad hoc as it was necessary to help my family. I figure it is either fine for everyone, or fine for no one. A million times what you did ops. To anyone that's forced to take sick time in situations like this. Never reply to emails, answer work calls, or do anything work-related. If they want to be pricks and not work with you so you're forced to take sick or personal time, then that means that sick or personal time is not work time, so fuck them. Not nearly as malicious. But I've got 10-month-old twins at home. Right after the C-section they allowed me to work from home for a bit. Then told me I'd need to be back in the office. I tried to work out a partial work from home thing as my wife struggled hard with our first and I didn't want to abandon her during the day. But they wouldn't budge. So instead I took legally permitted parental leave and got to similarly not work from home for a very long while. I will be out with a sick child and have taken my own personal sick days to take for him over the next couple of days. That's how it works at most employers I've experienced. Do y'all have, or did you previously have, access to various types of sick leave? Like child-based leave, pet-based, other? Our teacher reality. Snuggles are really important. Don't miss out. I worked IT for a school district and it wasn't great. They think because the job is for the public good, you'll put up with anything. I'm working private sector now and get to work from home full-time for the same pay. It also allowed me to come to the realization that school districts don't really care much And now you start to realize why it's churning out little selfish pieces of shit and has been for a few generations. The boomers might have been the first to really get the short end of the stick without even knowing it. It's sad. Really.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.